Chapter 21 Armageddon. This chapter was getting to be longer than I thought, so I split it into two. Hopefully the next one will be completed soon. I've been told that many of my action scenes end too abruptly, so I hope I did better on this. P.S. You're gonna hate me for this chapter. P.S. The first episode of Broad Discord is out now. You can find it on YouTube. He was in his castle. Flashlight stood at the door, pulling on her cape. Do you really have to go? Discord asked. Pexa smiled. I'm only going out for the night, honey. After all, it's not every night Charlie comes to town. We haven't had a girls' night in ages. Yes, but... He twaddled his fingers. I thought we could have a your me night. He glanced down sadly. Then he felt Flashlight's soft hoof lift the chin so his eyes could meet hers. While her stare could never manipulate him the way it did animals, her loving gaze would always warm his heart. Then she gently kissed him on the muzzle. Tell you what, she said. Tomorrow, we can drop Screwball off at the race for a sleepover and then spend the whole night together. How's that sound? His lips slowly curled to a smile and he nodded. Besides, Flashlight continued, it's not like you'll be alone. As if on cue, a 4-year-old Screwball appeared between them. Mommy, she chimed, can you read me a bedtime story? Sorry, honey, Topeka said, taking the stuffing in her arms. Mommy has to leave now. Where are you going? Out with your aunts. I will be back before morning. She kissed her daughter on the forehead. Be careful your father now. I will, Mommy. When she was gone, this girl sunk to the couch. Young Screwball tapped his leg. Why, Daddy sad? Jacancos looked down at the sweet, fairly spiral eyes. They were filled with concern, yet still adorable. Smiling slyly, he slid the toddler onto his knee. Daddy just misses Mommy, that's all. Screwball nodded understanding. Disco looked up as he felt chocolate milk drip onto his head. He grinned when he saw it falling from a cotton candy cloud. He scooted out though when it made a glass appear to catch the milk. Feel better? Screwball asked. He turned to Phil and squeezed her in the crook of his arm. Yes, dear. Feel better. Scene shifted and Disco found himself in the garden. He glanced around at sneering. All right, he called. Where are you? He heard a laugh and spun around. Screwball, now a teenager, was peering out from behind a tree. Aha! She gasped and teleported out of her position. You can run, but you can't hide. He was about to look for his daughter when he heard another giggle, this one delicate and enchanting. He grinned mischievously and moved as quietly as possible towards the sound. He then spotted a spot of pink behind a bush. Chuckling to himself, he teleported that spot and surprised Flashlight as he scooped her up in his arms. You're it, he whispered. Flashlight groaned. We need to make new set of rules for this game. Rules? But dear, have you forgotten who you married? He then pressed lips down upon hers. She moaned in response. Do you guys have to do that every time you catch each other? The couple put away to see Screwball scowling at them, the two months sitting in her arms. Again, Jacancos said, we should have a new set of rules. Like when the attack creature gets on pony, they're both it. Wait, what? Screwball cried as her parents pulled her and Sandy in for a group hug. They began laughing, and the children could not resist laughing as long as he timed their embrace. The image rebooted as Discord woke from his dream. He sat up and realized he had fallen asleep on one of his clouds. He looked down and saw Sandy caught up beside him. He smiled at Eva's innocent face and petted his pink mane. That pink mane. It was just like Fluttershy's. Sandy's eyes didn't open, revealing his spiral eyes. They were purple, they would be just like Screwball's. Disco recalled the memories from his dream. Those were the days, he muttered. Since he had fallen in love with her, Flashlight had always brought joy to his miserable existence. The brother Screwball had doubled that joy. They were a family. They loved each other, comforted each other when troubled. Sure, they had their ups and downs, but they would always work it out in the end. Why could it not be that way again? He knew the answer. Flashlight had broken his heart. Since their marriage, there had scarcely been a day without Fluttershy. Even when she was not there, she would never be gone for long. Not that he thought about it, this was as long as they had been apart. There had been another time when they had to part under dark circumstances. During her captivity, he had nearly forced her into marriage, and in his anger had physically harmed her. Then he released her and did not see her again for 3 days. This was different. This time she was not coming back. Why would she? After all, it was clear by the way she had kissed that stallion that she did not love him as she had before. It had destroyed him. No one had told him that love did not always last forever. Then there was Screwball, his daughter, his flesh and blood, his chaotic prodigy. She was no different from her mother. She had loved him too, obviously not caring how he felt about it. She and her mother replied in the hall of the stallion, rejoiced at how they had broken the Lord of Chaos. Disco shook his head. No, he was not broken. He was more proud than any pony in Equestria. Look at the world I've created! He did so and thought it would prove that he was not weak. But as soon as he laid eyes on Cagatown, his heart sank. It was all so beautiful, but who was there to appreciate it? He glanced down at Sunny, who was smiling up at him with an open mouth. He at least had him. But you're a fool, he whispered. You appreciate anything. He put his paw to his heart. It was beating slower than usual, and he could hear a string snap. He had told his client time and time again, that love was the most powerful form of chaos there was. How ironic it was that the very thing he lived for would ultimately destroy him. There he is. His ears perked up at the sound of Princess Twilight's voice. He looked down at the ground. 6 pairs of the elements of harmony were dwelt below him, but the only point he really saw was Fluttershy. While the others were glaring up at him angrily, her eyes were sad and pleading as he locked gaze with her. Despite everything that had occurred the last 2 days, despite the tension between them, he thought heard the most beautiful thing in the world. Are you even listening to me? Disco had been so focused on his wife that he had not heard Twilight's words. I said, your 24 hours are up. He scratched his head. 24 hours? Yeah, and I see you're still causing chaos. Soon confused, he picked up something and flew down to them. Did I miss something? Yes, Ramajaz exclaimed. Your insanity. We'll give you one more chance, Discord, Twilight said. Unless you stop this madness now, we have no choice but to use our elements. Discord's eyes widened in fear and then turned to Fluttershy. You're letting them do this? The page hung her head shamefully. I thought you had changed, but I was wrong. He could not believe it. True, she had betrayed him, but he never would have thought she would be so cold as to turn him to stone. He shivered at the memory of stone prison. He would be frozen forever. He would be alone in the cold. He would hear the world around him and not be a part of it. Fluttershy knew all this, which is why he had to ask, Why, Fluttershy? Why? What have I done to drive you away? Was I a bad husband? Did I offend you? Was it because I yelled at Screwball? Because I apologize for that. Hey, Ramajaz said, glancing around. Where is Screwball? Disco bit his lip. She's making cream cheese of Philadelphia. He could not tell them that Screwball had abandoned him. If he did, they would know that she hated him and would not be care if he were turned to stone. But the fact that she was not with her mother worried him. Please, Discord, Fluttershy pleaded, standing forth. It doesn't have to be this way. We can go home, be a family, like we should. But it's time I fell in love with. It's time I'm married. It's time with whom I raised my children. Her brief tear eyes were now strewn with tears. Discord, please. He wouldn't do what she asked, to take her in his arms, but the memory of seeing her without others dying still burned his mind. If you love me so much, she snapped, why did you betray me? I didn't, Fluttershy insisted. It was if you love me so much, why did you take their side? Discord, please listen, you would turn me to stone? Your husband? He held up saying, the father of this child? Suddenly, the big vanished from his hands and then reappeared in Fluttershy's back. Disco's hands fell to his side. Too zany, he choked. His wife, his daughter, and now his son. Whatever was of his shattered heart was destroyed in that moment. He fell to his knees in defeat. What was there left to live for? The 6 mayors lifted their heads in confusion. Well, Disco uttered, lifting his eyes slightly. What are you waiting for? Do it. Discord, Fluttershy started saying. I said, do it! She gasped, but then hung her head. Twilight turned to her sympathetically, though it was clear she was equally shocked. I'm sorry, Fluttershy, she whispered. The Smurfs had used the elements of harmony multiple times, but this time neither of them were willing to do it. Seeing grinned evilly as Twilight's horn began to glow. Disco looked up at Fluttershy, who had tears streaming down her cheeks. He would not take his eyes off her, not even to blink. Despite the fact that she was crying, he wanted her beautiful face to be the last thing she would see. Fluttershy, I love you, he said under his breath. He gripped his hands, preparing for what was to come. Wait! Twilight stopped her spell and looked up. Everyone did the same. Screwball zoomed overhead and landed between her father and the ponies. You can't do this! Screwball, sweetie, Twilight said gently. Stand back. No, this is all a big mistake. Honey, please, Disco urged, not wanting to start to share his fate. Daddy, it was not mine you saw kissing that stallion. It was a Changling. They both were. The Chikunka's jaw dropped. What? Yes, Fletcher shouted. It's true. I would never betray this core. But, why were you going to turn into stone? Didn't you want me out of the way so you could run off that stallion? It wasn't going to be forever. We were just going to put you in a timeout. I didn't want to, but after the way you acted yesterday, talked about ruining Equestria, I felt I had no choice. What are you talking about? I didn't say anything to you about ruling Equestria. That wasn't Chrysalis, Scrubble declared. Twilight raised an eyebrow. How do you know? Philip pointed Zany. Why didn't you ask her yourself? The point gazed into the baby. His eyes were blazing with green fire. Flushy shrieked and dropped him as he started to glow. Everyone backed away as it took to find Chrysalis. She grabbed a screwball. You really are thorn in my side, you know that. It ain't her, Abjack cried. This guy grabbed Fluttershy and Screwball and pulled them closer. His teeth bared the chain-link crane. What have you done with my boy? He demanded. Does it matter? Chrysalis bellowed. What you should really worry about is yourselves, as I put Plan B into action. She was in every point looked up at the storm chunks of the sky. This guy laughed. You think a few bucks would stop me? He snapped his fingers, teleporting himself and the ponies. Ha! This is when they reappeared. I sure showed her. Then he gasped and saw that Chrysalis was still in front of him. They had only traveled a few inches. The queen threw her head back in a laugh. You fool! She taunted. While I was disguised as your son, I fed off your love. Whatever power you had left was wasted on chocolate rain. No! Chikunka cried, looking down his paw and claw. It's not possible! Big mistake, Chrysalis, Twilight exclaimed, pounding her horn. You're going back to Chilling Forest where you belong. Just as the match was about to transfer to her crown, Twilight's horn vanished. What? She gasped. How? What? Why does this always happen to me? I have absorbed Discord's power, Chrysalis chuckled, as well as his daughters. Not that you cannot use magic, nothing can stop me now. Pinkie rolled her eyes. You're not a very nice lady. Really? I hadn't noticed. They were now surrounded by changelings, in the air and on the ground. Chrysalis circled her victims. I've been waiting to give revenge on the love of you for years, she gloated. It's a pity that Princess Cadance and Shining Armor aren't here to join the party, but I'll see to them later. I've watched you all in your perfect little lives, and well, they were just too perfect. So I spice things up a little. Twilight faced the Queen. What are you talking about? Oh, haven't you guessed? She gasped and spun around at the sound of her own voice and saw a duplicate of herself. It was I who told your boyfriend all those years ago that he was nothing but a peasant. The other one stiffened. What? Krista turned back to herself. That was all I did, of course. It was you who refused to talk things over with him. Shame, really. He had bought a ring for you, too. Twilight clutched her heart. All that time, she had thought the reason Flush had left her was because he did not see how a relationship between the princess and the girl would work out. With all that type of formalities, it had seemed the most reasonable, though it had not made sense since that had been the situation with the brother and foe setter. Now that she knew the real reason, she felt a weight of guilt on her shoulders. Flash, she uttered. Krista smirked and loomed over the white unicorn. Your love life, Miss Rarity, was not so hard to ruin. Rarity gasped as the queen transformed into Fleur-de-Lis. I didn't even have to kiss and make you angry, she said in her voice. But of course, I had to do it when he decided to go back to him. Oh, how he resisted me. He would not stop telling me how she cared about you. If only you had listened to him. Then from memory Twilight's gesture, tears foaming in her eyes. After turning to the queen, the changeling turned to Applejack. I was going to take Rarity's form and rekindle your spiky wacky's old flame. But I had to keep your friendship with the unicorn stable if you're going to turn Discord to stone. That was all you? Twilight acted in disbelief. Indeed. I don't get it, Screwer said. I mean, I get why you're mad at them, because they helped defeat your own boy pick on my dad. Changeling Queen turned her eyes at the filly, so you know what it's like to have a broken heart. Without warning, she shot a beam at Discord, sending him flying back in the floating cottage. Berry Punch struck her head out the window to see what was going on. When she did, she signed the shutters. Dad! Screwer cried. Do what you like with the others! Chrysalis commanded her army. The conquest is mine. The flame narrowed her eyes. Now if I can help it. With a great shout, she pounced on the queen. Chrysalis jumped in surprise, but did not let her guard down. You little brat! Using her magic, she threw the filly off. Scrubble landed within the crowd of changelings. Scrubble! Fluttershy shrieked, flying into the air. Hang on, sweetie. Mommy's coming. Stop her! Chris yelled. Oh, no you don't, Rainbow Dash exclaimed. Just as several chains were about to overhand Fluttershy, Rainbow was through them, knocking them off like bowling pins. Hold your ground, girls, Twilight commanded her friends. Fight them out as best you can. Sign, Freckles just pounded her hooves together. Bring it on! She let a bad cry as she trusted Changelings. She stopped in her tracks before she could kick her youngest daughter. Prison? Rainbow questioned. The flame flicked up at her and then smiled deviously. Rainbow realized the truth too late when Prison delivered a right hook. Fluttershy cut her friend in the air. Don't let them distract you, Twilight shouted. Remember, they're just Changelings. Oh, really? The elegant turned and gasped at the sight of her ex-boyfriend. It wasn't a Changeling that broke your heart, Princess, the fake Flash Sentry said with a smirk. I was the one who said it was over. Twilight shrieked as she backed into another Changeling disguised as Flash. But even after all those years, it said, you wouldn't even talk to me. I said it was over, said their Flash, but you agree with me, said another. Twilight tried to get away, but more and more Flashes appeared and were slowly closing in on her. She wanted to block their words out of fight, but they looked and sounded so much like Flash. Don't listen to Twilight, Andrew called out. They're lying. Never forbid they do that. The cowgirl gulped at the sound of her beloved dragon's voice. Soon all the Changelings around her looked like Spike. It's funny how you're always so intent on telling the truth, one said. But it took you forever to convince your feelings for me, the other finished with a cackle. Why, if you hadn't told me, I would have married Rarity. Do you really want the truth, AJ? Even though I'm married to you, you will never be as pretty, as classy, as sophisticated as Rarity. That's what's always been nagging in your brain, huh? The fact that I loved Rarity first. AJ covered her ears. No, it's not true. Y'all are lying. Spike loves me. He may have loved Rarity first, but he chose me. You chose it was because he loved you, or were you just a last resort? The last Changeling to speak streamed as he was blasted with magic. Rarity blew on her horn. The nerve, she exclaimed, making dear sweet Spiky Wacky seem like a monster. And you say I'm unfaithful. Rarity turned and saw several Changelings take the form of Fancy Pants. You still hold that dragon in high esteem, I said. And yet you accuse me of adultery, another finished. Then again, you might be right about that. After all, I didn't tell you where I was going that day. And I didn't bother to fit myself when you come in your embrace. Honestly, my dear, you became boring after all. But always talk about Pony, though. You can give me a son. Stop it, Rachel desperately. My Fancy would never say such vulgar things. The one directly behind her smirked. Maybe not to your face. The Yinka cried out and blessed as many Changelings as she could, but they kept coming, shouting insults at her. Rainbow Dash decided to lend a hoof and bowled through the crowd. The Pegasus hesitated when the Changeling beneath her turned her into prison. You ain't your daughter, would you? He said, smiling up innocently. When Rainbow Dash could respond, she was attacked from behind by copies of Soren and the twins. Meanwhile, Peggy was grinning at duplicate red shoes. She smiled with laughter. Oh, if I were here now, he would get a kick out of this. Changeling tilted his head and then took the form blueberry pie. Peggy only started again. I love that trick of yours. Ooh, do me. Changeling groaned. Forget this. Didn't tug her to the ground. Through all of this, Fluttershy had been pushing through the army, searching for her daughter. Screwy, she called. Screwy, where are you? Mom! Fluttershy saw her daughter run towards her. Her relief was short-lived when the second Scribble caught between them. Mom, stop! It's a trick! I'm the Scribble. No, you're not, the first Scribble insisted. I am. No, I am, said their Scribble. I'm Scribble. No, I'm Spartacus, Pink Pie shouted. When Crystal was convinced that her army had everything under control, she advanced toward her enemy. Yet to conquest was carved from its collision, rubbing its head while attempting to rise. At last, the Queen said, You're mine! And we're going to do it part 2.